So, yeah, we recorded.
Go for it.
If anyone has, at any point, you just feel free to interrupt with any kind of basic questions that you have or whatever. But I don't know.
Type it in the chat box.
No. We're not going to mute everyone out. There's not too much background noise. That way anyone can speak up whenever they want and just talk.
Line first.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, so you guys know that starting Sunday, we're moving to the conference line schedule. And we made it like only 3 people at a time, just so it's more personal that way. If there's like 15 people on, Derek cannot talk to each of those people by themselves, introduce himself and talk to them a little bit, find out who they are. And I feel like on a conference line, it's way less personal, and they feel like maybe they're being talked at and sold instead of talked to, and they don't feel special that way. So that's why I limited it to 3 people. I mean, in the future we might change it, but the idea is, Derek's going to keep doing these conference calls for, forever, as long as I'm concerned. But, the expectation is every time you guys hear a call, take notes, learn what he's saying, the important parts of what he's saying, and so you can learn to do these yourself. That way, when your team starts signing up more and more people, you can be that go-to person for 3-way calls, or you can set up conference times for your team. That's
right, and that's eventual, because
not now.
Right.
Like, he still has plenty of time.
Yep.
To get to everybody, but we don't really want to go over 3 people.
Nah, because it's just not the reason why they're so effective, I think, and Brandy and Lauren and the people that are doing the 3-ways a lot and getting results is because it's personal. I'm able to interact with them, ask them questions, get to know them a little bit. Hey, what do you do for a living? And have that interaction with them instead of me talking to 10 people at the same time. And they're on me. Like, we did one like the other day, and I could tell she was just multitasking in the background. I heard her microwave going and all this other stuff, and I knew that she just was not with me, because she's being talked at. And why not? Because there's 3 other people being talked at the same time. It's not personal. It loses that effectiveness that's getting us the results that we're getting right now because of that special one-on-one time with everyone. So we want to accommodate our times as much as we can by maybe talking to 2 or 3 at the same time, still keeping it personal, but developing how many people we can talk to at the same time, that I can talk to at the same time, and keeping it personal and keeping that effectiveness of the calls. But yet, any more than 3, it's not going to go there. And there's not always going to be 3. Like, when you schedule it, please, and the office, and it's going to take a week or 2 before this starts becoming normal for everyone in second place, but please edit the document. And when you sign up for a time, what we don't want is for you guys to just make comments under that and say, hey, sign me up for this time on this day, because I don't have the time in the day to be editing that document for everyone else. I'm busy making calls, talking to people, answering questions, doing quick follow-ups in between calls, all that. I don't have time to do the office work of editing the document so everyone knows when the time slots are available or not. And she's helping me out a lot with the calls, and she really doesn't have the time either. So if you guys can just take 5 seconds and edit that document yourself, if everyone can do that, that would make it so much easier. That way we don't have to concern ourselves with that.
I know you can't edit from a phone. You have to be at a computer to edit. Right. So you can't edit that document from a phone. It's not possible. It won't allow it. I don't know why. That's stupid, in my opinion, but it won't.
It's just the way it is. But if you find yourself to where there's no way you can get to a computer, you just can't edit it.
Message.
Either message us, there's always going to, or like Lauren, for example, you can message Brandy, or Heather, you can message Brandy. or Nikki, say, hey, I can't do it. I need to sign up for this time. I can't edit it. Brandy, can you do this for me? Something like that. She'd be happy to.
Right.
Yeah.
And if there's only one person scheduled at the conference time, we'll just immediately change it to a 3-way call instead of the
Right.
conference line, because there's no need for a conference line if it's just one person.
Which is what it would be anyway.
Yeah.
Except, because since you're 3-waying them into the call, they don't know if you're 3-waying them into a conference line or into my
Right.
personal line. They don't know the difference, and it doesn't matter. It makes no difference. I'm still just talking to them one way or the other.
You're the one calling into the conference line, and then you 3-way your person in. So you still talk to them before you merge the calls. You still talk to them for a minute. And Shelly and I did this, yesterday, Shelly? Yeah, and it worked good, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought it went great. So it was fine.
Right, because if you leave it to them and say, okay, well, here's this conference line, call this mystery number that they're unfamiliar with, then enter this PIN number followed by a pound key, they're going to be like, whoa,
They
wait a
don't
minute,
like that.
what is this?
They're so much less likely to call when you
Right.
give them that type of number.
Right.
They're like, what is this? So they become,
guarded even
and,
more than they are.
And they're like, what is this? Is this a scam? I don't want to call into this. This sounds shady. They don't want to.
Right. They don't understand that this is growing so fast that I don't have enough time in the day to talk to everyone. And sometimes I got to talk to 2 or 3 people at the same time. That's the reality. They don't get that if they got to call a conference line, enter a PIN number,
Right.
and they don't realize that, hey, there's just going to be 2 of us on the phone, and it's going to be a personal call anyway. They don't get that vibe right from the beginning if they have to jump through those hoops. So 3-way them into the conference line. Call the conference line first. And, like Brandy, if you call a conference line, you're like, okay, I'm going to go get my girl and bring her in. I'll be like, okay, I'll be sitting here waiting. And,
Yeah.
And then you introduce her just like you would any other call.
Right.
So.
Yep. So it can be very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's just going to take, a couple times for you to get it and be like, oh, okay, well, that's easy. But a lot of times, people will flake out, and it will be a one-on-one. Like Nikki, we had 2 in one day that just didn't answer, and that's part of it.
It
just
happens all the time.
Yeah, it's
Don't
not.
let that discourage you, because
No,
we've had so many that's flaked out like that too, Nikki. You cannot let that discourage you.
Brandy's had people like
I've
that.
had at least 5 this week that haven't.
Oh my gosh, it just happens.
I think it was just so frustrating because I was so excited. It was like my first 2 people, and they both didn't answer.
Right. It just, and it very well may have been a legitimate reason from their perspective. Maybe they got busy, and this just isn't important to them yet because they don't realize what it is. They don't realize that they can be part of something before it's even something.
Did you follow up with those 2 people at all?
Actually, one of the girls, Bree, she was one of them that didn't answer, and she ended up sending me a message on Facebook, and she said, that she was really sorry. She got really busy. She ended up having like an emergency, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just told her, hey, no problem. Maybe I can get with you next week or something, and we can set up a time.
Yeah.
Right. I would say, hey, I have this day and this day open. Give her 2 options. And tell her I got, I'm pretty wide open these 2 days, and hey, let's get this scheduled. So let's get this scheduled, and make it sound important.
Like you could always say something like, look, next week, Monday and Wednesday, I can possibly, get back to you on this, and we can reschedule. And I promise you, no matter what's going on in my life, I will take time out of my schedule to make sure we can make this happen Monday or Wednesday, because this is important. Which one of those 2 days is best? Yeah, because it is important.
It is. They don't have any idea what they're ignoring at the moment. And I actually sent that in a message today, by the way. I'm going to read you right now, like what I sent to somebody, and she got back to me right away, and she's like, okay, I can talk Saturday. I'm going to go to her message. And she's been in network marketing before, so she kind of knows, but she didn't answer the phone when I called her. And then she said, I'm sorry, I forgot. And that ticked me off to begin with. Like, I'm like, forgot? Like, how can you forget about this? This is a great opportunity. But she doesn't know that yet. She has no idea what she's missing out on. So I said, I am not sure you understand what you are ignoring here. Because she ignored my message when I sent it to her. Like, I'm being Grant Cardone at the moment. I'm like,
Yes.
hello, this is important. This is literally a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This is a ground floor marketing company that just started their network 16 weeks ago. And if you know anything about marketing, you know that is huge. And the fact that it is blind, everybody loves it. 90% of people that I talk to love the concept and are signing up. We only started 4 weeks ago, and we made almost $2,000 so far. I am not trying to push you at all. I just wanted to make you aware of what you are missing out on. Let me know if you want to reschedule our call. And that's after she ignored me. She got back to me like 2 minutes later. No joke. She's like, okay, I can talk Saturday sometime. So I scheduled her for Saturday morning. So you just have to like gently tell them, you know, like, this is important. You have no idea what you're missing out on until you hear this information. It's okay if you tell me no after you hear the information.
Right.
That's totally fine, but you need to hear it. Like, I feel like it's
I
my
have a
duty
question.
to make sure you know.
Who said that?
Kelly.
Yes.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, so obviously I just signed up today, so I've never done network marketing
Right.
before,
You're brand
so
new.
I'm like, I'm like, so I work in marketing, like digital marketing, normally. So like social media and stuff, that's fine. But like, I'm really, really nervous about approaching people because like, I've just been approached by so many people, and like, I just don't want to ruin relationships that I already have. So I know, like, I'm coming into the middle of you saying how to, you know, convince somebody that they need to get on the phone with you, but how do you start that conversation with somebody?
Well, I mean, Sherry's been doing the bulk of that. I've been doing the bulk of actually having the conversation with someone. But
First of all, you cannot be afraid to talk to people. Like, you know, like, you heard this opportunity, and you know how much it can change lives. Like, I think if you signed up, you already believe that. So you cannot feel like you're bothering people, or, you know, you can't feel like that. Otherwise, it's going to come across in your messaging.
right, they're gonna
And
feel
they're going to
it.
actually feel how you feel.
Yeah, like what I would say is, Kelly, like, if you can to put this in the right perspective, I would think of it like this. If you could somehow go back in time, and that, okay, we all know how big Avon is, and it became, like, everyone in the country knows what that is. You know, whether you've associated yourselves with them in the past or not, they are a billion-dollar giant. They're a massive company.
Yeah.
Just think, if you could go back in time somehow and you found out that you knew about Avon 3 months before anybody else in the country even knew what the word Avon meant. Like, you think you would be doing your sister, your aunt, your friend, your cousin, or whatever a disservice if you're like, oh my gosh, guys, you don't even know. There's going to be a company that's going to be a freaking giant. Everyone's going to know who this company is. We have a chance to be positioned with them now before it becomes a household name. You have no idea. Do you like wine or whatever, you know, their product is? But, you know, if you are fond of this product at all, I have got to get you on a call so you can learn about what's going on here.
Yes.
You are truly doing them the favor, just like in 1970, whatever it was, when Avon came out, or whenever it was, you would have been, oh, my daughter.
Yeah, you don't have to be salesy about it.
Right. You're just letting them know with your belief, like, this company is going to be huge. We are on to something here, guys. And it's like, I am doing you the favor by even letting you know that I know a secret that no one else knows. We're about to launch and become public. This is going to be huge. No one else is doing it like we're doing. And I just wanted to let you know, if you like wine and you like opportunity, we need to get you on the phone and let you know what this is all about, because I would be doing you a serious disfavor if I did not tell you about this. Like, you don't obviously
That's
have to
exactly
use
right.
words, but that's your perspective. That's what mentally has to be going on in your mind. Like, I have to tell these people about it, or I am not doing them any favors at all.
Mhm.
And if you have that
Yeah.
perspective, whatever words you come out of your mouth and your own vocabulary and how you're used to speaking to people, if you have that belief and enthusiasm when you bring it up to someone, no one's going to feel bothered, offended, or feel like they're being sold to. Anyone that I talk to with my genuine enthusiasm with this company, there's not one person that's responded to me like, "What are you trying to sell me?"
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah.
Because I
Like, not
believe
one.
in what we're doing. And if you don't, then that's the source of the problem, not necessarily in the act of going.
Yeah.
So,
You're right. That's what I tell them, that you're like, tell your people that you would be doing them a disservice. That's what I say. I will be doing you a disservice for not telling you about this opportunity right now.
Exactly. And yeah,
You know.
you do not have to be salesy about it. Just, your first step will be to reach out to your the people on your friends list who like wine. And it's really easy to find out who likes wine on your friends list, because you literally can just do a search at the top of your Facebook page, friends that like wine, and all of your friends that like wine will pop up. So I would suggest starting there and just simply messaging them and catching up just a little bit, saying hi, especially if you haven't talked to them in a while. Obviously, don't lead with, do you like wine if you haven't talked to them in a year? Like, you're going to have to catch up a little
Yeah.
bit. But, eventually your conversation can just lead to, hey, I believe, I saw on your Facebook that you like wine as much as I do. And they're going to say, well, yeah, I love wine. And then that's when you tell them, just a little bit, hey, I have this opportunity that fell in my lap, and I would, I think you might be open to hearing about it. Do you want to get paid? Do you want to get paid by drinking wine and, get paid for it or whatever? I have the script in the team. I can't even think off the top of my head, but it's in it. The scripts are all in the team that I've made that are working for me. And usually they say, well, yeah, I would, love to hear about it.
Wallen in here?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
You just get,
So today I talked to one of my friends who I had made plans with anyways.
Mhm.
And I said to her, I said, hey, I just signed, so I just started with this company, and I told her a little bit about it. And then I said, I'm getting a case of wine in next week. Do you want to come over and, sample the wine with me? And then if you like it, I'd love to, talk to you about the opportunity. I mean, is that?
absolutely. No, that's great. Yeah, that's a great way to do
That's
it.
great.
If you have friends that live near you, heck yeah, invite them all over and have a nice party. And
Yeah, 'cause, my parents live in Florida, so I was gonna have a wine party there because they're all old and
absolutely.
retired. And
Feel free to throw Derek on speakerphone in the middle of your wine party and have him tell them all about what we're doing.
Yep. And I can shorten it, and I can make it quick.
That would work absolutely fine.
Yep.
Doing something like that.
Or you could do a Zoom, a live
Yeah,
Zoom.
or a Zoom.
Yeah.
Yep, we can do.
Then they can see his face.
I am pretty to look at, I know. Oh,
Get them a little tipsy first. They'll be like, I'm signing right up right now.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, Sherry, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I ran an ad yesterday, just one day, a test one, and I've gotten 10 responses back that I'm talking to these people. But I want to know, when you get likes on your post engagement, do you message them and talk to them, or what do you do with those?
Yeah, I haven't started doing that yet, but I plan to. I have like 600 likes on my post that I ran an ad on. So
Yeah.
I'm actually like, you know, because you have to kind of like, I hate to say stalk because that's just sounds bad, but you kind of have to look at their profile pages to make sure that you even want them on your team. Like some people that are posting some crazy crap, like you don't want them on your team. Like they're not going to be the type of person you want. But if you click on someone that's liked your post and they have like dream big on their, you know, cover photo and they're all like, you know, positive about everything, that's the kind of person you're going to message and be like, oh my gosh, you sound like a completely positive person. I would love, you know, to tell you all about what I'm doing. I would, you know, obviously you'd have to word it a little bit different than that, but that's the type of person that you're going to definitely want to reach out to. I mean, the message might go to their like other folder or message request folder, but hopefully they'd eventually see it.
Hey everyone, my daughter just popped in for a minute and said,
Hi.
the volleyball's
Hi.
That's why I had to run.
I have a question about people that comment on like your post on my like page and they want information and we're talking and then like they disappear. Like I haven't even asked them to get on a call or nothing. It's like they got busy and then they haven't, you know, how do you get them to
send them another message?
You know what I mean?
Send them another
Okay,
message.
I've done that, but it's just like I have to realize some people aren't on Facebook as much as I am. You know what I mean? So
Just
Well,
send them
what
Okay.
did Bob Heilig
Hey,
say?
I know we get busy. You know, I don't want anybody to fall through the cracks. So I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure, you know, were you open to hearing about this or should I move on? You know, something like that.
Yeah.
Or should I take you off my list? That would be a good.
Yeah, it's just like she hasn't it's like she hasn't read her messages again, you know, so it's not like she's ignoring me, I don't think, but
I would just, if she hasn't even seen your message yet, just leave it be. But if
yeah, she hasn't even seen it. Like we were talking and then boom, she was gone.
Right.
And I didn't scare her away or anything because we hadn't even got to that.
If she doesn't respond in a couple days, you can probably send another one like, hello, like I'm here.
Okay. One more fast question too, because one more question. The girl that you talked to, Derek, that like was really like in tune with everything you were saying, if you remember her, Jody. So she wanted me to message her husband because she's like, oh my God, my husband is going to sign up for sure. He's all in. She's like, because I'm a school teacher and I'm just going to have him sign up. So it was kind of funny because she was like, I just want you to message him. And I'm like, what? Like, it was just weird for me. Remember I said, how do I message him? I did. He read it. Nothing has come of it yet. And so I'm thinking of messaging her tonight and saying, you know, I messaged your husband, but yeah, because like, what am I supposed to do? It's just awkward.
Yeah, what I would say,
Because she's like, my friends want to sign up. I mean, remember she had all these friends that want to sign up. And she's like, they're all in. At least they say they are. And my husband's, you know, he's fine with you messaging him. And I'm like, okay.
well,
So
maybe
Have you considered messaging both of them together?
good idea. That's a great idea. Perfect. I like that idea.
Yes.
There you go. That's a
See?
better
That's great.
say. Yeah.
See,
Genius idea.
see, you know how to market.
Yep, there you go.
A group message would work great.
Especially if
That
she's
way you're
requesting-
not playing middleman. Because right now you're just
Yeah, so
that's not cool.
I'll do that tonight then. I'll do that tonight.
There you go. Yeah, so today, get this. This is just a fun story, but it's worth repeating. I was on Facebook. This is for my ninth and master seller because I haven't really been able to personally go after people myself necessarily because I've been so consumed and busy helping everyone else and doing
Which he
calls for-
always does, because that's the way he is. He just helps everybody else instead of himself.
Right, which ultimately helps me in this kind of business. And I'm always trying to do calls for everyone and stuff. And Sherry's like, you need to be messaging people. I'm like, I know, but I'm too busy.
Have time.
I'm too busy making calls for everyone else. But but anyway, so today, this is truly the old adage where it says luck is when opportunity and preparedness meet, because today I got online for a minute in between calls, and I saw this friend of mine who I know is a master marketer and does very well. He said something about, wow, I see that wine and network marketing has married or has come together like, a dream come true or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, if my buddy who's a master marketer that I'm friends with signs up with someone else and not with me being positioned with Austin and PJ at the beginning of this, like, that's bad. So, and I didn't message him yet. So I sent him an instant message. I'm like, you got to call me right now. Here's my number in case you don't have it handy. Call me this second. And some time passed, like 5-10 minutes, and he messaged me back. He said, I'm completely swamped right now. It's impossible. He's like, why? What's up? So I started talking to him a little bit via Messenger about direct sellers, which is generally speaking a no-no. Because you want to get them on the phone so they can hear the enthusiasm. It's like, if one of you guys are texting your girlfriend or boyfriend or something, a message, they can completely take it wrong. Stuff don't come across right on Messenger or texting. But so I was being real careful, but I told him a little bit about it. He's like, okay, yeah, I know there's a couple companies out there. Which one? So I was giving him more information I felt comfortable with, but, that's my relationship with him. I felt comfortable. I gave him some tidbits. Next thing I know, he's like, I am all in. He's like, what's your sign-up link? He said, I already have one person ready to go. And I'm like, come on. No way. So I messaged him my sign-up link. He signed up within 5 minutes. He's like, within like a minute, he's like, okay, I'm in. Is my link live? I have someone ready to go right now. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me check. I mean, I didn't even get the email yet. I'm like logging in my back office. I'm like, ooh, I see him. I'm like, yes, you're good, man. Go ahead. Have at it. He signed someone up, and then within 5 minutes or less, that person signed someone up.
It was within 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's all three. I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
are you kidding me?
That is freaking awesome.
And it just, that's how receptive people
That
are.
is the power of this opportunity.
Yeah, that would not
Because
happen if we're slinging vitamins.
That would not happen.
Yeah.
Those of you that are Beachbody coaches, it would not happen in Beachbody. It just
Hell no, we're not.
ever.
Right, yeah, nothing against it. I mean, I love the company.
Me
Beachbody.
too.
But
I love it too.
That kind of thing just doesn't
it just
happen.
Won't.
This is a different thing. People are receptive to wine. When you mention wine, they perk up. They're all ears. They're like, oh, wine? What are you talking about? You have their attention right away when you mention wine. It's like, wait, what do you mean you can make money from home with wine? Like, what are you even talking about? They're willing to have a discussion about it. They're willing to talk. They're willing to hear you. If you're like, I got this great lipstick. It is so glossy. It is so good for your skin. Oh my God. They're rolling their eyes.
And you know what else I love about drug sellers? You can target men and women.
Right.
Unlike, fitness side of things, it's like half the market is gone. Like men want nothing to do with skincare, fitness products. I mean, some men do. I mean, obviously Body Beast and stuff, like men love that. But like very few men get on the fitness, marketing train.
Right.
That's why all the top coaches are female. I'm like, have you seen the top coaches in Beachbody? They're, everything is female. But this, like, both men and women. So we have the entire market. It's wine. Yay.
Right.
So yeah, it's been amazing so far. Like people are just they're loving it.
And a lot of people, like I say on my phone calls for those that have been on those, like people understand that referral-based marketing programs are mainstream now. It's no longer considered a taboo subject.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not like, 70s and 80s Amway, like, oh my gosh, they're going to sell me SA8 laundry detergent. Door to door, like, oh my God.
Or dropping off Avon books door to door. Remember that? My mom used to do that.
Right. It's not looked at that way. With social media and technology.
I don't know why that has me laughing so hard.
like I say on my calls, when we went to our arts and crafts festival, you know, a month ago or whatever, every other booth was Unique Makeup, doTERRA essential oils, you know, Scentsy candles.
I can't wait to break out my wine
Right.
at festivals.
We'll be the busiest booth.
Oh my God, Nikki! Oh my God, Nikki! We're gonna have a heyday.
On this, because you know what, breaking out our wine at festivals, or
Next fall festival.
we're like wine tasting booth. You have any idea how people
Oh my!
lined up at our booth waiting to taste?
Oh my God!
Right, but you know, but my point is, it's mainstream. People understand the power of referral marketing now. It's no longer looked at as a taboo thing, and no one is doing it like we're doing. Yeah, there's Traveling Vineyard, and there's a couple other companies out there that might be delivering in a handful of states or something, but no one's doing it like we're doing it.
Mhm.
So it's really exciting, and we virtually have no competition for what we're doing specifically, our specific niche. So.
Yeah, Traveling Vineyard's the only one that I've ever heard of so far, people talking about, and they're only in 21 states.
Right.
And they have no plans for international expansion like we do.
Yeah.
Nothing. And their company is more of like a home party feel. Like they're bringing wine, and it's wine that their company makes, by the way. They do not ship wines from all over the world. Their company just makes the wine, and they bring it to home parties. So it's so much different than what we're doing. If you ever run across that's how you can explain it.
Go ahead, Shelley. You look like you had a question. You're like,
Yeah, I just talked to somebody today and they signed up with something called Bright Sellers. Have you heard of that one yet? Okay, we were talking about it and she basically said it sounds like the same exact concept, except I never could find out from her where her wine came from.
Huh.
right.
That's interesting.
You know, but I was just curious because she said it was the same thing. You could sign up and you could make money and whatever too. And
Well, I'm sure it's the same thing in
Yeah,
her mind.
There's
But-
probably a couple companies out there that are doing what we're doing. They're just not like we are at all.
right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, our company, they plan on being the largest wine tasting club in the country in the next 18 months. And I truly believe that they're going to do just that. They've been, like I say on my calls, they've been laying the infrastructure for the last 2.5 years. And they're poised for growth. They've been developing the contracts and the price negotiations with all these different small artisan wineries from all over the place. We really have a unique, I thought that was a wine glass, Shelley. I saw you.
Oh my God.
But
I found this, and it looks
Right,
like
Sellers.
Bright Cellars is a monthly wine club that matches you with wine that you'll love. Take a quiz. Drink with what you love with Bright Points. Yeah, that makes no sense to me. I don't get it. Okay, yeah, we'll have to look into that one. But yeah, that doesn't even sound close to what we're doing either.
I wanted to just make a really quick comment. As far as if you do go to music or to festivals or whatever, I would just make sure you check like the local or your state liquor licenses and permits just before you decide to like buy a booth and all that. Just in case it like slips through the cracks, you don't want anything to like.
Yeah, you
I mean, I looked it up here. It's like one is $50. One's like, depending on if I'm going to distribute or if I have intention to sell or anything like that, that's one's $150. But one just for tasting is $50. So you have to like just check your.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, we'll have to check the laws just to make sure it's allowed, for one thing.
Yeah, you just have to get a permit. Like,
Yeah.
that's all it is. It's not like because beer and wine's a lot easier than if you had like liquor.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read all about that today because Virginia's weird because it's a Commonwealth, so they have like all sorts of quirky rules. So like looking into that today.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
She said we need to
Oh, absolutely.
festivals
Yeah,
and
I
stuff
thought
with
about
wine.
that.
Yeah, with wine.
We would certainly, if we're doing alcohol at all, we would have to.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
But anyway, so now the other thing is I've been getting a lot of questions about like the compensation plan from people, a lot of basic questions. So does anyone have anything specific they want to ask about the compensation plan?
Well, I do, but I don't know if you can do it tonight.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Just how to read the volume and all that stuff in the back office.
Uh-huh.
How to figure out kind of like how much you might be getting for paycheck. Do you do that or no?
I'm just trying to understand your question exactly so that I can.
Well, you see like the volume in the back office and how to read it. Because I was back there the other day and I just like was totally confused.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, well, there's a couple things.
Should I screen share or something?
No, I don't think you need to. No, you're probably not seeing anything unilevel yet because
Right.
I don't think you've been in long enough to have anyone under.
No, I mean, Eric hasn't either, so.
Right. But I think you're seeing like the dual team volume, and basically it's this. You know, the percentages that you get depends upon your rank, first of all. But it's easy enough to max out master seller because you only need 9 personal people. Okay, so that would be like 20%. So I'm going to use that as the example, and it starts at 6%. And it goes up to 20% and 2% increments. Like if you have 2 people, it starts at 6. If you have 3, it goes to 8%. If you have 4, it goes to 10. If you got 5, it goes to 12, etc. But once you have 9, it goes to 20%. And basically, so you can use whatever percentage you want depending upon where you're at. But we're all going to be master sellers before January. So let's say 20%. Okay, so if you have, say, 500 in volume in one leg and 800 in volume in the other leg, the way it works is you get the percentage, whatever percentage you're at, say 20% of your weaker volume leg. So 20% of 500 is $100. So your paycheck based on that volume that's residually accumulating in your 2 teams is going to be $100. So 500 is going to be deducted from your 800 and your strong leg. So you're going to have 300 carryover volume into the next week from your strong leg because you haven't been paid on that yet. But you're paid on the volume of your weaker leg. If you have 501 and 501 in your second, you're being paid 500, times 20% or $100, and you got 1 carryover volume for your next. So, whatever example you want to use, whatever numbers you're seeing. But that's basically how it works. And no time at all, especially with us being so new, we are both, like I was talking to Lauren about this earlier, you're going to have 2 power legs. With where we're at, it's hard to say, well, this is my power leg or this one's my power leg. We are so new.
We don't know.
And we're going to be building so violently, especially after we officially launch. Your legs are going to be explosive, both of them. I don't know if you guys picture that yet or realize what's going on here for real. But once you start growing even a little bit in each leg with this new, you're going to have 2 explosive legs. It's going to be nothing to be doing 10,000 in volume in one leg in a week and 12,000 in volume in another. Nothing.
Oh, good.
If you're doing 10,000 volume in one leg and you're getting 20%, you're getting $2,000 a week in residual income just off volume. That has nothing to do with even who you're signing up or who you're not signing up. It's not based on your personal production. That's why we keep talking about timing and positioning right now at the beginning of this company.
It doesn't have to be the 2-to-1 ratio either.
No, right. For those of you familiar with Beachbody, I don't know if everyone on this call is a Beachbody coach or what, but okay. But
with Beachbody, it was 2-to-1.
And that's normal in a lot of binaries. Like you need 200 sales volume in one leg and 100 in the other leg. And once you have the 2-to-1 ratio, you get paid on the lesser leg, the 100. That's not the way this works. This is even Steven. You want 2 even legs. You don't have to try to juggle that and try to get a 2-to-1 ratio or no games like that. You're building 2 strong sales teams, 2 strong legs, and whichever one happens to be the least amount, you're going to be getting 20% on that. And the other volume that's not utilized from a strong leg will be carried over week to week until you monetize that. So that's how that works. It's very simple. And it's going to be a lot easier, by the way, when you start getting your first paycheck or your second paycheck and you're like, and you click on it so you can see how that happens. You're like, oh, that's where the money's coming from. Because you see it in practice. You see, okay, I am getting deposited $300 into my checking. Where did this come from? And when you click on it and you see it, you're like, I got it now, because now it's real. It's real money. It's not, arbitrary kind of, hypotheticals.
Hypothetical.
Yeah, you're seeing it, and you click on it, and you see the breakdown, then you compare that to the 2-page PDF we have, and you're like, got it. That's easy. So, you'll get it, soon enough. But essentially, you're just getting whatever percentage, called 20% for master seller, the weaker leg volume, and whatever's left over on the stronger leg volume just carries over until you can monetize it.
Okay.
And
Well,
that,
I have another question I thought of, and this is, I probably already know the answer to this one, but when you move up into the ranks, you're not getting paid each level. You're just getting paid at whatever rank you're at currently. Is that correct?
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, once you max out at 20%, that's where you're at.
Okay.
And there is no limit to the amount of volume that you can accumulate. In other words, in the dual team, it's not like, well, we'll just accumulate volume down to 9 levels or 10 levels. It's unlimited depth.
Okay.
And they're able to do that because you need another team doing the same amount of depth and the same amount of volume for you to get paid on that. That's how the bean counters can figure out that they can pay you that, because you're basically doubling the effort for you to monitor. If you sign someone up, and this is why it's not like a Ponzi thing. Let's say if I signed Heather up, for example, and let's say if Heather did nothing but bring Shelly in, and let's say Shelly went out and blew it up. She's doing $1 million a week. She went crazy with it. Well, Heather, you still wouldn't be making any money except the initial 125 that you got, because you're not doing anything on your other leg. You haven't developed any other business. It won't reward the lucky. It will reward the people that's doing something, as it should. So, if you develop another leg, and if you get lucky twice, so to speak, that's improvement. but that's just not the way the world works. You know what I mean? You got to develop 2 legs, and then you're going to be paid well for all the volume that's generated from that.
Okay. What about the matching bonus?
Matching bonus? Okay. So let's say if that example of, 10,000 in one leg and 12,000 another leg happens, and I'm getting $2,000 a week in my dual team bonus because I did that. So I'm rocking. Derek, the master seller, the 3-way guy, he's making $2,000 a week from his dual team bonus. Austin, since he put me in, he gets a 10% matching bonus of what I'm making from my dual team bonus. That means Austin's getting an extra $200 a week because I'm making $2,000. But that's his incentive to help me.
Right.
Just like, my incentive to help Brandy. If I can help her start popping out, $500 a week just from the dual team, we all know she already beat that as it is with her faster bonus because she's rocking. But if she's getting $500 a week from her dual team bonus, I get 10% of that. So I get an extra $50 a week.
Okay. So it's just like Beachbody's matching bonus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except our matching bonus goes down 4 levels.
Right. Ours is only on personally sponsored first level.
Right.
Exactly.
That's 1 level. We get a 4-level matching, but it's like 10, 5, 4, and 3 at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it goes down. Okay, so if Brandy signed up somebody, or let's say I signed up Brandy and Brandy signed up somebody and that person signed up somebody, I would get paid on all 3 of them if they're working the business.
Right. The 10,
You would get a
6,
percentage.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another portion of your
That's
paycheck.
really awesome.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
That is some huge residual income.
Especially with us being in so early at this, because
Yeah.
everyone on this call is going to have huge dual team bonus checks.
Yeah.
So, there's going to be some nice matching checks being thrown around.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's powerful. And in addition to the dual team, in addition to all the unilevel, it's remarkable. It's remarkable that they're able to do it. And Peter Jensen, when he designed this compensation plan, he was the mastermind behind this compensation plan. He's really, of course, with help from the accountant and everybody, but he was the one that designed it. And I talked to him about this myself, and he said, I'm so sick of people being in this industry and working hard and not making any money for 6 months. Or that's why there's a retention problem.
Yep.
Because even people that are working hard aren't making money, and people that sign up in things like this, they need to make money. That's one of the incentives why they're signing up. They don't have the luxury of waiting 6 months or 9 months to start making a check. Christmas is in 2 months.
Right.
People need to make money now. They can't wait that. So he wanted to create a compensation plan that does have that long-term back-end residual that attracts all of us smart people to something like this. But yet, it also will throw a bone at someone if they're putting forth some effort right now. They'll get paid now for the efforts that they're putting in, and that they'll get an immediate bonus. Like when my buddy Chaz came in today and said, okay, I'm in, what's the link? And he came in. That's an extra $125 for me. Boom, sweet. That's really nice.
And then he earned $125 5 minutes later.
Right.
So,
It's nice. He earned half of his investment back in 5 minutes.
And then his person earned $125 5 minutes later.
There you go. That's the power.
Why I need to know, like I got to wrap my head around the compensation plan, because once I feel like how much money can be made in this business,
It's mind blowing.
It is. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like, we're gonna blow away the top coach's income in a year. Like, we're gonna be like, I'm sorry, I joined a new business, but I'm making more money now.
Right. Yeah, it really is timing. It's like, and I feel like, I like I say on my calls too, and I'm sorry to repeat myself to people that have heard me do these calls.
A million times.
Right. Like, poor Sherry, God bless her. I feel bad.
I could do the calls myself.
Right.
I really could.
Right.
I know it by heart.
Right. But because I say this, and I've never written it down. Not once. I speak from my heart, but there's only so much to say.
Right.
And it's just a logical order of the stability of the company, the awesomeness of the product, then the newness of the opportunity, and the brilliance of the timing and positioning, and how smart it is for us to share that vision with them and to align ourselves with them before the opportunity is even public, basically. So it's very logical. It's easy to say. But what was I talking about? I was just saying I wanted to say something about that. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day. I've talked on the phone so much today, so forgive me.
I can't believe you haven't lost your voice yet.
Oh.
It's the wine. It cleanses, it like lubricates the throat.
Right, it is. It's the nitrates. Sulfites. Nitrates, sulfites.
There's no.
I'm not a scientist. I know. But yeah, you're really on to something. Sorry. I don't know
what he was trying to say. I can't read his mind.
I don't remember. She does sometimes.
I do sometimes.
Sherry, if you know all of it, if you know the script like by heart, then you should start doing calls.
Well, we talked about that, and she is going to actually start doing her own.
I am going to start doing my own.
Because she's taking up a lot of my schedule with her calls.
I'm literally booking about 8 or 10 a day.
Wow.
Literally. Like, so it's been like crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sherry, I don't have time to talk to anyone else except all of your people.
Hey, Sherry.
But yeah, I could absolutely do them.
When you did your page and you were talking about doing a post engagement, did you also promote your page?
No,
No, not at all. Just from the post engagement.
I got likes just from the post
Yeah.
engagement ad. Yep,
Okay.
it's like killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah. Because it kind of makes sense.
From that. So.
Yeah.
So I have a question about Facebook pages.
Yes.
It's Kelly again. Sorry. So I already have like a Facebook page. I have a fashion blog, and I have about like 2,800 followers on Instagram, and I have about 300 followers already on Facebook. And I was just planning on sort of like incorporating that into my Facebook page that's already there. Do you think that that's fine, or?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Just start throwing out a few, wine posts every now and then, especially if that's.
Well, I already have a lot of wine posts on
exactly. So that's already
wine transcends that stuff.
Yeah, that's already part.
Yeah.
We call it an avatar on, when we start Facebook training and stuff. Like finding your avatar is who you're actually looking for your team, because like
so speaking of that, I actually have a really great article that I'd love to send over to one of you to take a look at.
Sure.
I do marketing for like my normal life, but it talks about how it's from I don't know if you guys are familiar with Digital Marketer, but it talks about how and this is you can stop me if I'm getting too excited. But one of the things that it talks about, and this is one of the things that I do with a lot of the businesses, I do a lot of social media marketing for a lot of businesses. And it talks about the putting the sentence in, but no one else will, when you're filling out like, can you hold on for a second, bud? But you need to Oh, okay. My son wants me to put a fire hat on to talk to you guys.
Okay.
But
but
it says that like basically you're supposed to fill out things like my ideal customer would read this book, but nobody else will. My ideal customer would. Okay, we can turn something else on. My ideal customer would subscribe to this magazine, but nobody else will. My ideal customer would attend this conference, but nobody else will. And it talks about just being like really specific. Like if you were targeting golf people, you wouldn't necessarily want to assign Tiger Woods as something that you want people to like, because people that aren't familiar with golf would like them. But you would want to assign somebody more like Rory McIlroy, because people that don't know golf don't necessarily know him.
Right.
But that like gets you more targeted in your niche or whatever. So I don't know. That's just something that I found the other week that I thought was like super interesting.
Can you post that in our team?
Yeah. So it's a PDF, but what I can do is I'm gonna I can like summarize it and I'll post it in the team Facebook page.
That'll work.
Okay. I'm gonna go turn Teletubbies on for my son.
I love it.
So I have a conference call in 4 minutes with someone. Believe it or not, I'm still going. So I'm going to have to go do that. But does anyone have any last questions or anything before we go?
All right. We'll just pick it up next week where we left off.
Yep. And by the way, for these calls too, I'm going to try to get like, and I know that this almost happened before, but it will happen in the future. I'll get like PJ on to join us, okay? Or maybe even David DiStefano and maybe even Jerry Greenfeld, the Wine Whisperer. We're going to make those things happen. We're an important team to corporate.
You guys, we are already making huge waves.
They know who we
they
are.
are messaging us like, wow, your team is wow.
Right.
Already.
They're giving us attention, and they've already said, hey, anything we can do, and I'm going to take them up on that. So I'm going to get them.
They're looking up to us, and they're like, their team's doing good. Like, we're teaching them stuff. Like, it's kind of crazy that we're teaching them stuff, but we are. So we're kind of leading here. Like, we're leading from the front. So that's really fun.
But we're going to have David and PJ and stuff and calls in the future. I'm not saying next week. I'm just saying, in the future, we're going to have things like that. So when those calls happen, I'll try to find out early enough to where we can promote it and really pack it out and get everyone on this call.
Right.
Because those kind of calls will be especially important because we might get some insights into things that, because I hear some things about what's coming down the pike that I'm not allowed to share it all, and I can't because I can't betray their confidence, but it's like so exciting you guys came and begin to imagine. You have no idea. My enthusiasm is well-founded. And there's not just with what we have, but with what I know with what's coming. This is going to be an enormous company. And we're really doing people the favor by letting them aware of this before anyone else knows about it.
Right.
Direct sellers are going to be a household name. Even if people don't enjoy wine, they're going to know what it is. So we're at the forefront of that. But anyways, I guess that's it for tonight.
Yep.
So.
Wow, we went an hour almost. That's
I
crazy. All right, awesome, you guys. We will see you next week at 8 o'clock Eastern Time sharp.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good week,
Good
guys.
night.
Keep sending us those calls.
Bye.
Schedule.
Make it happen.